So there's competition here to suggest names for a new bridge. The 20 most popular bridge names have been identified and stored. So we have to state a suitable data structure. Now you note there's only one mark for this question. It's not asking us for the data type and data structure. So if you're storing a list of names, that's going to be an array of strings. The data structure there is the array. So it's an array. It's strings, but that's not really directly relevant to the question. State the predefined function that should be used to select any one of the 20 stored bridge names. Well, there are 3 predefined functions at National 5. We've got length, random, and round. So if I'm going to choose one of these, so I'm choosing something from a list, effectively I'm choosing at random, although they haven't used the word, then the predefined function is just random. Now if you had written something specific to a programming language, like randint for Python, then that would be okay as well. And then we've got this cycling trip, and there's a nice little story, but really all that matters here is the number. So we have to identify the mantissa and the exponent. Now when we're looking at a floating point number, the mantissa is this part, whatever's here without a decimal point, and the exponent is this. It's the number up there for the power. So the mantissa is 18563, and the exponent is 4. And that should be an easy 2 marks. And then it says that during the trip, Matteo uses his smartphone to track his route. Describe how he could reduce the energy use of his device. Now, I happen to think that this is quite an easy question, because although we should know anyway about reducing energy usage, even if you didn't know the answer here, if you just thought about your own phone, how would you reduce the battery consumption if your battery's running out? Well, you're going to do something like turn down the brightness on the screen, or you might have a low power mode, or you might close background apps that you're not using, anything like that that's going to save you a bit of power. Then we've got some code for a rechargeable battery and an electric toothbrush. So if we look at the code for a minute, we've got this Boolean variable up here, and this is going to be important for the question. We've got a conditional loop in there. We're setting the battery value to whatever. We don't actually care what that is. Set a temperature to whatever. And again, we don't actually care what that is for the purpose of the question, which is why they've put it in these wee brackets. If the battery, so that's the percent of power left, if that's less than 3%, or if the temperature is greater than 45, then set brush stop to true. So the idea is it's going to stop to protect the battery, so that the battery doesn't overheat and it doesn't run out. So first of all, we're to state a logical operator in the code. Logical operators are and, or, and not. Well, there's only one of them in this code, and it's the or. So the logical operator is or. Describe the purpose of the Boolean variable in this code. Now I think something that's important here is we're not talking about what's the purpose of a Boolean variable. You're not there to say that it's set to true or false. You're saying in this program, what does it do? So it starts off as false. It's used as a condition in the loop, and then inside the loop, if a certain condition happens, if it overheats or if it runs out of power, then that's set to true, and the loop will stop because the loop only repeats while it's false. So it's controlling the loop. Or it stops the loop when the battery is less than 3 or the temperature is greater than 45. And then lastly, and this is maybe a more unusual way that they've asked this question, state how many extended ASCII characters can be stored using 80 bits. Now if we think about previous exams, I've had something like the word hello, 8 bits per character. I've got 5 characters, 8 bits, so that's 40 bits to store that. Well, this one we've got 80 bits, so we're sort of doing it backwards compared to how they normally ask the question. If you know that there's 8 bits per character, and you've got 80 bits, then you've got 80 over 8 characters, so you've got 10 characters. So the answer's 10.